I'm Marcia Monroe, and I'm here with Michele Tafoya of ESPN, and we are going to talk about charities today.
Yeah, good.
Which is exciting. What are some of the charities that you've been involved with?
You know what? I've been involved in a number of them, and I think as I mature and grow and things change in my life, my priorities change, and some of my focus changes. But one that I've had a lot of fun with is the Humane Society of the United States. I'm a huge animal lover, and some
when did
people
you get involved?
Well, you know, I've on and off for a long time. What I remember is my mom, when I was a kid, would get these, would get the things in the mail. Oh, the Humane Society's looking for donations. She'd write a little check, and I swear to you that had an impact on me because I thought, we can actually help someone.
Did she tell you she was doing it? Or
yeah, and she didn't really go out of her way, but she would say, these are the charities that I like, and I always remember the Humane Society, and I've always stayed in touch with these kinds of, whether it's PETA or ASPCA or, whatever it is, I've watched and followed which charities are getting the best ratings and doing the best with their donations. And the Humane
primarily
Society,
with animals for you?
a lot of that.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I'll tell you, it used to be strictly animal welfare, but since I've become a mom now, I'm paying a lot more attention to child abuse and that kind of thing.
So with working for ESPN, is there a way that you sort of can add in any kind of charity stuff?
You know what? I did do something really fun. There's a radio station in Los Angeles that I have a relationship with, ESPN Radio, and they challenged me each week on Monday Night Football to in my reports, use a particular word. One time it was, can you work in the title of any James Taylor song? Okay, I don't know, I don't even remember how it came up, but they said if you can, we'll each put in $100 to the Humane Society, and we did this every week. So there was, I did some report once, and I said, throwing back to Al Michaels, something like, Al, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, but I've never seen a guy get cramps in the snow, or something stupid. But
I love that.
Check written, and money goes to ASPC or to Humane Society, and we had a good time with it. So
did people know that's what you were doing, or did they just
it finally got publicized in Sports Illustrated that I was doing this. So I think I was glad to have that extra publicity, because any $5, $10, $20 check written to Humane Society to me makes a difference, so
yeah,
it was important.
It's huge.
Yeah,
oh, I love
it all adds up.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've kind of answered that. What is it that has made you get involved? You love it. You love animals.
I do. And you know what? And I'll say this: you get influenced throughout the course of your life to get involved in different things. For so long, it was about animal welfare. Then I became a mom, and I have this child, and as you give love to a child, you start to understand that not every kid in the world, born into the world, gets as much love as your own child. And it can break your heart into a million pieces when you think about that. A tiny, innocent child either getting neglected or getting abused. So this has become another focal point for me. And I will say, too, since 9/11, and we've gotten involved in, our military is giving so much of themselves, that is kind of the third prong of the way I'm thinking about giving right now, is to guys coming home to their families. I want so much that these guys know how appreciated they are, and if they come back less than they were physically when they left, I want them to be taken care of, and I want them to be shown love and compassion and acceptance. So,
are there specific ones? I mean, obviously there are, but that do that, through different. There's just different organizations.
There are so many,
yeah.
And what I would encourage people to do is, because we're in this internet age, you can go to charitynavigator.com and you can look up any subject matter, whether it's military, animal welfare, child abuse, and plug in those search terms, and you'll find a list of charities that you can donate to, and they'll read to it's great, and they'll direct you right there, and you can donate online or find out a way that you can volunteer or help.
What is it called?
Charitynavigator.com.
Okay.
And it ranks them for you, so that if you're really concerned about your money being well used, they'll give a star ranking to a different charity, so that you know which ones are really legit and where you should be sort of focusing your time and energy. But the USO is great. I travel a lot, and when I get off planes, a lot of times with guys from the military, the USO will be there waiting for them with signs and hugs, and it's so heartwarming, and so yes, like I said, as you go through life, certain things start to become more important to you than they were, say, 20 years ago, and you find yourself really focused on wanting to give.
Right.
and help.
I love that that exists. It's like a Google for charity.
It absolutely is.
I had no idea.
And you go there and look, I don't know, what's your favorite? What would you want to do?
Definitely kids.
Okay,
No
so
question.
you could type in like children's welfare,
right,
or children, and all of a sudden you've got this list of charities right in front of you. You can research each one of them, or you can just say, oh, I've heard of this one, I'll go there, and it'll redirect you to the charity's website. You can donate. I think it's such an amazing, great tool, especially if you don't have a lot of time and you just think, I want to do this. And I've kind of made it a weekly thing to go there and say, who am I giving to this week? You know, what am I going to do? It's just a little bit.
A great way to get inspired, too. Like,
yeah,
you know, I mean,
absolutely.
Like, seeing that, how can you not want
to? Right, absolutely.
Speaking of being inspired, who's inspired you?
Oh, so many people. I think first and foremost, my parents. I've been lucky in that I've been raised by parents who are really compassionate and feel the need to give. My parents were raised during the Depression era. They didn't have a lot at all, and they worked very hard to attain the American dream, and they made it clear to us that, you know, giving is important, that there are so many people less fortunate than we. I think what you have to balance, and what maybe my parents and I learned from them, is balancing. There are so many issues out there. There are so many kids you'd love to save, so many animals you'd love to save, so many guys coming home from the war you'd love to help. And you can't do it all yourself. And you can't do it at the expense of your own family.
Right.
You know? I mean, if I gave everything I wanted to give, my child would never see me. So it's a balancing act. And that's one thing that I think I've learned from my parents, that they were always there for us, but that they were always willing to give a little bit of time or money for the other things.
Knowing when to do.
Right. We can't neglect our kids for the sake of these people we don't know, or these animals we can't possibly save, all of them, but we're going to give what we can. But you know what? We have to raise our own kids well, too, so that they can carry on that legacy, so that they're not neglected along the way.
In the next 10-year period, what, as far as like your contribution to these various charities that you're interested in, is it more, it sounds like just sort of you're already kind of on your way and knowing how much you're giving, and it's sort of set. Is there anything specific in you know, the future that you would want to do, or just keep doing what you sound? I mean,
yeah, I kind of like
doing great.
Yeah, I like the path I'm on, but you know, my husband and I always have this conversation. What if we won the lottery?
Right.
I think we both would love to endow scholarships at the universities we graduated from, and we'd love to do more. We're not going to win the lottery, so. You kind of go on doing what you do, and you follow that course. And I always believe that if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get where you've always gotten. And we are pretty happy with where we've gotten. So if we just keep doing what we've done. One other thing that we're going to be doing soon, which we're very excited about, we're adopting a little girl from South America, and we are going to take down a boatload of clothes for this orphanage from which she'll come, because we have a little boy right now. We're going to adopt this little girl, and that's going to be it. So we have all these little boy clothes, trunk loads, and we're just going to take them down, and we're going to do what we can for these kids, too, that we can't adopt them all, but we can do what we can do.
Have you found her? Have you met her?
We're going to meet her any time now. We're waiting for that phone to ring, because we're up next. It could be literally, that phone in the next room could ring any minute, and we'd be on our way to Bogota, Colombia, and we're excited about that. Now, we look at it as she is going to enrich our lives. And everyone keeps saying, oh, what a great thing you're doing for this girl. Well, you know what? She's going to be doing more for us than we do for her. So we can't wait to meet her. But along the way, if we can help a little bit, some of those kids who just, you know, don't have a lot, we'll do what we can. So it's like I said, life is this process. It's this journey. And along the way, your eyes get open to all these different causes and people who need you, or animals that you need you, or, you know, causes that need you. And I think
or your kids needing
or
you.
Your kids. And boy, does my kid need me. And you just have to, it's balance and finding your way along the way and doing what you can as you go. You know, we're not all Bill Gates. We can't all go save one country or one, so we do what we can, and we just find our way as we go. And I would just say to people, you know, follow what tugs at your own heart, what makes you feel good, and remember that you cannot solve, there's so many issues in the world, that we each have to kind of do our own part. Do good whenever you can, and then don't forget the people that need you, that are right around you. You cannot sacrifice or neglect them for everything else in the world that is so much bigger. But if we all collectively give a little bit of ourselves, it's Pollyanna, but I do think we can make a difference that way.